Well, you found us once again, the Rowdy.com studios. I'm Buzz Cutler. That's Bass Masters. We're still talking about Martinsville, and I don't know about you, Bass, but this is one of my favorite tracks.
Oh, yeah.
And what we saw at Martinsville on Sunday is what I love to see at a short track like this. Beating, banging, gouging, people pissed off, people laughing. It was a great race. I really enjoyed.
It was a great race.
I enjoyed the level of contact that we saw, as did Dale Jr. Dale Jr. and I were simpatico.
It wasn't that nice for you and Junior to be so close. But, yeah, Junior loved it, and he was one of the guys not afraid to beat and bang into people. There's an interesting line, I think, here when you talk about the contact that we saw in this race, which is contact itself is okay. And Junior enjoyed that aspect of it. Listen to what he had to say.
You know, it was a lot of beating and banging right from the drop of the green flag, but I think that the fans really enjoy that. I'm sure it was great fun to watch on TV and in the stands, and it was great fun in a car. I mean, most fun I've had in a race car in a really long time.
But there were a couple guys who felt like while contact is okay, there seemed to be some hair-trigger tempers out there, like guys losing their cool real quickly and wrecking each other and turning each other.
Well, let's be clear. Contact is different
than cheap shots.
Than what, and it's also different than what Brian Vickers was doing, which was like the human pinball. It wasn't.
Oh, now you take it easy on the sheriff.
Strategic contact. It was like Jeff Green style. How many cautions can I bring out?
How many guys do you want to attack in this video?
A single race. And can I just say, for both Brian Vickers, I think it was Brian Vickers and Jamie McMurray, if you're going to retaliate against somebody and try to take them out with your race car, don't miss. Because it just makes you look sad and silly. Oh, I'm going to take this guy out because of what he did to me. I'm going to retaliate. And then you miss completely. Come on.
Well, I think for Brian Vickers, obviously, this wasn't a great race. I mean,
you think?
You look at the caution sheet. There were 18 yellow flags, which is quite a bit. Over I guess, 20% of the race was run under yellow. 5 of those, the number 83 was in a little list of cars affected. Okay, that's not a really good percentage to be involved in more than a quarter of the cautions in a race like that. Okay, so it wasn't a great day for him. But I think what Denny Hamlin had to say after the race was interesting because Denny didn't mind a little contact. He almost felt that guys were so sensitive to contact that they were just retaliating too much.
You need to be a little bit more respectful of each other. And when you get knocked out of the way by a guy, this is Martinsville. It's going to happen. Just take it with a grain of salt and move on. You ain't got to plow the guy and send him head on in the next corner.
Here's the thing that's interesting about Denny. Denny did get frustrated when he was out in front, and he was trying to hold off the Hendrick guys, and he was about to lap Tony Stewart. And Hamlin and Stewart mixed it up pretty hard. They bumped each other a lot, and Stewart wouldn't let him by and was racing him hard. Denny was getting frustrated. Tony said, hey, man, I'm racing to stay on the lead lap. And Denny didn't retaliate. He didn't move Stewart out of the way.
Well, Tony also mentioned another incident in the race, which was interesting. Tony said, I made a mistake and got into the 43 of A.J. Allmendinger. But when A.J. had a chance to retaliate, he didn't because I gave him back that position as an acknowledgement that I had made a mistake and I didn't mean to get into him. So there was respect there, even though there was contact, right? But Tony also felt after the race, he said, look, we don't let guys settle this off the track anymore. So they have to settle it on the track with their race cars. And I think that to him was where Boys Have At It maybe broke down a little bit. It's almost like he wanted it to have a hockey mentality where there's a physical price to pay if you take cheap shots out there. And he wanted the guys to drop the gloves and go at it like they used to, which isn't going to happen.
He also said he never really understood what Boys Have At It meant or means. And, of course, you can't go and beat the crap out of each other behind the hauler like you used to be able to because there are just too many television cameras and smartphones and flip video cameras around just to be able to, just to take off your watch and your ring and give them to your compatriot.
Apparently you can do that.
But that's how it used to be handled. We've talked to Rick Mast about this many times.
Well, and it's been handled that way. If you talk to Kurt Busch about his run-ins with Jimmy Spencer, he basically said that changed my perspective. And he doesn't say it with an air of resentment like he was taken advantage of. He says it with like that was a learning experience for me. Jeff Burton has said the same thing about his early days in the sport, that, there were some lessons taught out of the race car, not just with the race car and yap, yap, yap on TV. So I think you have to wonder if Boys Have At It is sort of fully formed yet. When you look at a race like Martinsville, though, you really can't, from a fan's perspective, complain.
Well, I love Tony Stewart's suggestion of, hey, let's just get a portable boxing ring and set it up in the infield after the race and let whoever got mad at each other settle their differences mano a mano in the square circle.
If you like.
If you like.
If you like.
I think that's a great idea. Let's do it.
Okay.
Or let's just invite them here.
Maybe
to
arm
Rowdy.
wrestling.
No, let's invite
trivia.
them here,
How about a trivia contest?
No,
There's a price to pay, and you will pay it with trivia.
That's not mano a mano. That's it for us here at Rowdy.com. I'm going to settle my differences with Bassmasters right
with trivia.
Off camera.
With trivia.
Rowdy.com. Say it like it is.
Say what like it is?
Rowdy.com.